You often face problems when you love someone because love can bring both joy and challenges. When we love deeply, we may feel vulnerable, afraid of getting hurt or losing that person. Misunderstandings can happen because people think and feel differently, which may lead to arguments or doubts. Sometimes expectations grow. And if they aren't met, it can create disappointment or frustration. There might also be sacrifices or compromises that feel hard to make. Loving someone requires trust, patience, and understanding, and these are not always easy. However, even with these challenges, love remains powerful because it teaches us to be more caring, forgiving, and understanding. There's a feeling, an unexplainable warmth that washes over us when a certain someone crosses our mind. It's not just any warmth. It's a gentle, soothing comfort, like a blanket on a chilly night or the sun on a cool morning. This feeling, that's love. Think about it. There's a certain glow in our heart that flickers to life like a tiny spark whenever we think of someone who makes us feel this way. It could be a friend, a partner, someone special, someone whose presence, even in thought, brings us peace. Love is when you feel warm just by thinking of someone. Sometimes it's in a memory, a shared laugh, a lingering touch, a glance that meant more than words could ever say. These moments, however small, build a foundation of warmth, a warmth that stays even when they're not around. It's that feeling when, late at night, we find ourselves thinking about them, and it's like they're right there, even if they're miles away. Our hearts feel full, like there's a glow that no darkness can fade. And it's not something we can explain, is it? It's just there. That's the beauty of love. It doesn't have to be loud or grand. It's often quiet, simple, and steady. Sometimes it's in the moments that don't seem like much at all. Love gives us strength and warmth, even when we're apart. It's like a fire we carry within us, something we can return to in our minds anytime we need comfort. Sometimes all it takes is a thought, a simple memory, or a message, and we're reminded of how much they mean to us. Love is timeless. Love is borderless. It's the warmth we feel, no matter the distance, no matter the time, and that warmth, that's love's silent language saying, "You are not alone. I am here with you always." Hold on to that warmth. It's yours to keep. Remember, love isn't just something we feel when someone is physically beside us. It's what we carry within us, that quiet, gentle warmth we can tap into simply by thinking of them. There are times when just the thought of them brings a smile to our face, even on the toughest days. It's in those unexpected moments, the in-between spaces of life, when a fleeting memory or a thought of their smile brightens everything around us. That's when we realize love isn't about grand gestures. It's about how their presence, even from a distance, makes everything a little bit better. It's the way our favorite song suddenly sounds sweeter when it reminds us of them, or how the smell of a familiar scent brings them back in an instant. It's as if the world is filled with little reminders of their existence, hidden in everyday things, quietly warming our hearts. Love is not about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about feeling understood and valued, even in the smallest ways. It's in those times when we feel vulnerable or uncertain, and yet just thinking of them brings a sense of calm, like everything is going to be okay. It's about knowing that despite the distance, despite the challenges, there's someone who makes you feel safe, even if only in thought. There's a certain magic in knowing that someone somewhere is thinking about you too. It's a connection that transcends words, and it's often found in the silence, in the moments where you don't have to say anything at all. Sometimes love is simply being there in spirit, and that's enough to light up the darkest of days. Maybe it's a late night phone call that goes on for hours, or a random text that says, "I was just thinking about you." Those are the moments when love feels real and tangible, when the warmth you carry in your heart seems to wrap around you like a hug that's somehow both close and far away. Love doesn't follow a schedule, and it doesn't have to make sense. Sometimes it sneaks up on us when we're least expecting it. A simple thought, a quick daydream, a song that plays on the radio, and suddenly you're filled with a sense of belonging, a quiet joy that doesn't need an explanation. It's not always about what they do, but how they make you feel. It's that indescribable comfort in knowing that someone, somewhere, is rooting for you, hoping for your happiness. It's the way they can lift your spirits without even knowing they did, simply because they exist in your thought. When you love someone, they're a part of you, even when they're not there. You carry them in your heart, and in those quiet moments when the world feels still, it's their presence that gives you courage, that makes you smile for no reason at all. It's the feeling that whatever happens, you have someone who understands, someone whose very thought brings you warmth. It's strange, isn't it? How a simple memory can make you feel so alive. The way recalling their voice, or the way they looked at you that one time, can make the rest of the world fade away, if only for a moment. It's in those moments of stillness when you realize that love isn't about possession or control. It's about appreciation, about finding happiness in someone else's existence. There's a quiet power in that warmth, a strength that helps us move forward even when times are hard. It's a reminder that we're never truly alone. We have the memories, the moments, the thoughts that make life richer, warmer, and more beautiful. Love is like a secret treasure we carry with us, a light that never goes out even when the world feels cold. What does it take to be happy? Is it about getting everything we want or living a life free from worries? Many people spend their lives chasing happiness, but what if the secret to lasting joy lies not in getting, but in giving? The best way to be happy is to make others happy. Let's dive in. We live in a world that often tells us happiness comes from having more possessions, more success, more recognition. But how often do we feel truly content, even when we get what we want? Maybe, just maybe, the key isn't in taking but in giving. Studies show that acts of kindness not only improve the well-being of others, but also lead to a boost in our happiness. Think about it. A simple smile, a warm gesture, or a small act of generosity can go a long way in brightening someone's day. And here's the best part. When you brighten someone else's day, yours gets a little lighter too. A small gesture can have a huge impact, paying for someone's coffee, leaving a kind note, or helping a neighbor with groceries. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they add up to make a world of difference. Gratitude doesn't just make you happy. It can also uplift others. Expressing gratitude to someone, whether in a simple thank you or a handwritten note, can make their day. And as they feel appreciated, your happiness grows. Time is the most valuable thing you can give. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, volunteering, or just being there for someone who needs it, Sharing your time builds connections, and those connections are a powerful source of happiness. As you go about your day, remember that happiness is not something we chase. It's something we create. And sometimes the best way to find it is to give it away. So why not try it? Make a habit of small acts of kindness. Listen more. Compliment freely. Share your time. Be generous with your gratitude. You might just discover that the happiness